Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to go ahead and share a couple manifestation tips that I know will help you receive all your manifestations to full fruition in the best way possible, in the path of least resistance, as fast as possible, okay? Before getting started with the video, I do want to let you know that I do offer one-on-one coaching. So if you're interested in that, check out the description box below where you can find my website and sign up for that. Although I will say, even though I offer that, you really don't need coaching. You really don't need to buy courses or really do anything external in order for you to get your manifestations. Okay, you don't need that, but if it's something that you feel like will help, if it's something that you feel like will make things click, because sometimes like the more resources that we attain, whether that be free or paid or whatever, the more we learn, the more we expand our consciousness and manifestation abilities, and the more we create more space to imagine more and want more for ourselves, then that's fine too. Okay, but yeah, just wanted to put that out there. So I'm gonna get straight into the video. So yeah, the first affirmation that I want to talk about is it's easy for me to alchemize negativity to positivity. Something that you all have to understand is that from the moment you started consciously manifesting whatever it is that you want, every single thing that's happened since then is the bridge of incidents that is making sure you get to your manifestation. It's the bridge of incidents on the path to receiving your manifestations. Okay, you cannot keep being a victim to the 3D, to your circumstances, because you perpetuate more of that, and at the end of the day it just doesn't feel good, right? At the end of the day, I still firmly believe you get what you want, but it does delay your manifestation to constantly internalize the negativity. Okay, the negative things that you see, the circumstances. Okay, true freedom starts when you stop internalizing negative things and you stop giving energy and attention to things that don't serve you. Now, I know people will be like, oh, well, that's easier said than done. We're humans, we're emotional creatures, this or that. That's why emotional regulation is so important. I highly recommend you find some sort of way to emotionally regulate. That's going to look different for different people. I'm going to list a couple of methods that have really helped me personally. One is EFT tapping. I highly recommend looking that up if you don't already. I have an EFT tapping. I have a couple of EFT tapping videos on my channel under a playlist, but that stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. So anytime you see something negative happening, tap on meridian points. Tap your affirmations onto meridian points. Okay, that are in alignment with whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. And when you do that, you create new neural pathways that override the negative triggers and the negative things that you are experiencing. Okay, so anytime you see something negative happening, the minute you start tapping or affirming or doing whatever you want, yeah, just scripting, affirming. I personally like script. Well, I used to really like scripting, and I still do. But affirming and tapping for when maybe you don't have time, maybe you're in like a rush or emergency or whatever. You're not gonna have the time to get out a piece of pen and paper. Just like start tapping on these meridian points, or even just start affirming like, no, everything works out for me, and my life is perfect. Everything works out for me, my life is perfect. Everything works out for me, my life is perfect. And that situation will magically disappear. Okay, the less attention you give to something by focusing your attention on something else, which in this case is affirmations or EFT tapping, that's a good way to emotionally regulate, the less that circumstance stays in your 3D sphere. Okay, but it is a matter of you consciously choosing to choose different thoughts. Okay, you have to start thinking different thoughts. You have to persist in those thoughts. Again, EFT tapping really helps, affirmations really help. Okay, and think thoughts that are better. It's like, even if you don't believe them, even if things are going haywire and you're just like upset, sad, whatever, you have to start affirming, no, my life is perfect, my life is perfect, everything's working on my favor, my circumstances are favorable, my 3D is favorable, I'm always seeing what I want to see, I'm always seeing what I want to see, I'm always seeing what I want to see. Okay, say it like a mantra. That's why I highly preach robotic affirming on this channel. Honestly, I feel like I should make a separate video on just that, because when you do robotic affirming, I've looked up a lot of benefits of robotic affirming. I would even highly recommend just looking up robotic affirming benefits, neurological benefits of robotic affirming, right? So it's like a mantra. So I'm Hindu, and I know a lot of people in my family practice Hinduism, and I have this knowledge from like these wise sages and like just people in my family that practice this. And every single person, no matter like where they are in life, like they preach mantras, because mantras have been a thing since like a long time ago. Honestly, I need to like study more on this Vedic scripture, all that stuff. Like, I mean, it's been around for a while, and it works for a reason. I mean, like, yeah, mantras are especially effective because when you affirm something again and again and again and again, you go from like beta to alpha mode. I know a lot of you might have heard of that, alpha, beta, theta, all these different modes. People can achieve that through meditation, or you go into alpha mode right as you're about to fall asleep. Even if you read I highly recommend this book, okay, The Mind Control Method by Jose Silva. He teaches you on how to go to alpha. You count down from 100 to 10, okay? But I'm not even going to talk about all that. When you robotically affirm. And when you robotically affirm for a good amount of time, like 10 minutes on end, right? You go from beta to alpha. Okay, like you're thinking of nothing else. You're in meditative state right now. There is no space for negative thoughts to creep in, anything to creep in. Okay, and by robotic affirming, what you're essentially doing is cutting through layers of deep subconscious programming and conditioning and wiring that you were subjected to growing up or in the past. Okay, so it's like I notice as I robotically affirm, triggering thoughts do come up here and there, but it's like I continue to robotically affirm, and like those thoughts go away. I don't get triggered as much anymore. It's like if that thought comes up, I think of another affirmation. Like for example, for those of you that are manifesting an SP and you're getting triggered by the 3D because your person followed a lot of people on Instagram where there's like a 3P, third party. If you just like redirect that to say, no one compares to me, I'm irreplaceable. No one compares to me, I'm irreplaceable. No one compares to me, I'm irreplaceable. That's going to be your default way of thinking. Okay, what you're essentially doing is creating a new program. Okay, you're conditioning your mind to think differently when something negative comes up. Okay, so it's like if like let's say you do get triggered by a 3P, or like someone else talks about something that triggers you, your mind will automatically redirect to that way of thinking, that conscious programming, that stream of thought, and you won't be as triggered anymore. And like things will follow. Okay, you're gonna see that 3Ps disappear. You're gonna see that they're gonna unfollow people on social media. You're gonna see that they've all just been about you and only you. Okay, but the thing is, you have to have some sort of default way of thinking whenever you do go through triggers. That is the way to alchemize a negativity into positivity. Okay, I'm gonna talk about the second card here. I'm grateful that the law works fast for me. I trust the law and my subconscious mind. Okay, don't really have to believe in manifest, or like your specific manifestations. Okay, even robotic affirming, even if you don't believe in it, it's fine. It still works. Okay, not everyone believes in everything that they have right now. Okay, even like some of the richest people, like still, believe it or not, like may not even feel worthy of being that. They might have imposter syndrome, but they still have money. They still have what they everything that they acquired, right? Because deep down, like they their dominant thoughts are like, okay, I deserve to have this. I have this right now. I have this right now. I have this right now. Deep down, maybe they do think they're a lot more worthy than maybe their conscious mind thinks they are, right? But in order to get to that level, you have to program your mind. Okay, you have to keep feeding yourself affirmations. Okay, mental diet here. You have to keep telling yourself, okay, I'm grateful that I have this. I'm grateful that this works for me. I know this works for me. Yeah, what I was going to say in the beginning is that even if you don't believe in your specific affirmation, at least trust the law. Okay, I'm telling you, like if I could like repeat this 1,000 times, I would. But you are not the exception. Okay, listen to me very carefully. You are not this. Oh my gosh, did I stutter? Yes, I did. Now listen to me very carefully. You are not the exception to a universal law that works for everyone, should they just persist in it. Let me say that again. You are not the exception to a universal law that works for everyone, should they persist in it. If you see like failed stories or non-success stories, that's because that person just gave up. They didn't persist in it. They got triggered by the 3D and they just said, okay, well, you know what, this isn't worth my time, I'm giving up. But there is no such thing as a failed manifestation, only an incomplete manifestation, and that's okay. Some people choose to not want that thing, but that's okay. But don't waver because of those stories. Okay, don't get like what do you call it, discouraged because of those stories. In fact, I would even recommend looking up success stories on Reddit. Okay, law of assumption, law of and just manifestation success stories, manifest SP success stories, manifest money success stories. Type Reddit after it and you'll see tons of success stories. And of course, you will see some comments where they're just like, oh yeah, this doesn't work for me, this or that. Imagine if those people spent that time affirming, scripting, visualizing, thinking in their favor, then writing that comment, right? They would have their manifestation by now. Why would you spend time writing a comment that like affirms something that you don't even want to see in your reality, when you could just be affirming in your favor? That makes no sense, right? So you literally just have to tell yourself like, no, this does work for me. I believe that this works for me. I trust that this works for me. Even if you don't believe it in the beginning, even if you don't believe those things in general, just say it enough and it will work. Okay, so a lot of times I do tell my clients like, hey, before you even affirm anything, condition your mind. Okay, tell your mind that this works. Tell your mind that this is not for like no reason. Your efforts are not going to waste. Okay, it's not futile, because it really does work. I've tried and tested this so many times. Most of everything that I wanted, I have manifested, and it works fast too. Okay, and the things that I didn't manifest, honestly, I just thought, okay, it's not really worth my time. I have other things and goals that I want to focus on. Okay, but the things that you prioritize, the things that you focus on, okay, because where your attention goes, that's where energy goes, right? um yeah, it does come to fruition, but the thing is you have to persist, you have to not give up. This does maybe it doesn't require, and this might be like a limiting belief, but at least in my case, this did require diligence, discipline, effort on my part, okay, conscious thinking, correcting my thoughts, okay. You do have to do a little bit of that initially in the beginning until you can start forming a dominant belief and get into that state. For once you do that, you may not even have to affirm for that thing again. I know there's a lot of people that don't do that. Even for me, I'm not really consciously affirming for, like, I mean, I do affirm for money here and there, but like I'm pretty solid in my job. And I know I give this example a lot on my channel, but even Sammy Ingram, this is, I get a lot of my information from her. She said that in the beginning, she would manifest all the time for a YouTube channel to take off. She would manifest that, oh, I make $1,000 every day, I have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, and she would affirm all the time. Now she doesn't even do it anymore, and she has over 100K subscribers. She's making probably well over $1,000, every single day. Okay, but for it to become that dominant belief, for you to be in that state, you have to put in that initial effort. You do have to think in your favor. You do have to be diligent. You do have to be a little bit disciplined in the beginning. Okay. Yeah, and if you find that hard, just tell yourself, hey, it's easy for me to be disciplined, it's easy for me to stick to my affirmations, it's easy for me to think positive thoughts, it's easy for me to sustain a momentum of positive thoughts. It's easy for me to sustain a positive stream of thoughts. Okay. It's easy for me to sustain positive thinking. It's easy for me to think positive, be positive. It's easy for me to be disciplined and diligent. I like manifesting. Manifesting is fun. Make it work for you. Make it fun. I personally like going on walks where I affirm. Okay. I love, going on walks. I get my steps in. I feel healthy. I feel good. I'm like moving a lot, endorphins coming out, right? Yeah. Or exercise, releases endorphins and just makes me feel good. It's something that I genuinely enjoy. Okay. And yeah, make it fun for you. Some people like scripting. I mean, do whatever you need to do. Like, right? Like light up a candle, put on some music, spray some perfume. I know some people really like manifesting when they get like, all readied up. They look good. They're wearing like a tuxedo, ball gown, or like they just look their best, feel their best. And therefore, like, they feel confident. I'm not saying you need to do any of that to manifest, but it's like, the thing is, just make conscious affirming work for you. It shouldn't feel like a chore. Okay, because at the end of the day, you're not doing this for anyone else. It's only a chore if you're doing things for other people. You're doing this for yourself. It's like, think of a house, like you're cleaning things. Like, let's say you live alone in an apartment, in a studio, whatever, right? Like, you're cleaning things so that you live in a good space. That's the same thing with manifesting. You're cleaning up your thoughts, you're refocusing your mental diet so that you get something that's going to make you happy. You're doing this for you, not for anyone else. Okay, so make it fun, make it work for you. Okay, we also got here Lala, the saint of spoken words. Every word I say becomes a prayer. I'm the author of my own story. That is the thing. You are the only conscious thinker in your reality. You are the only thinker in your reality. You are the only person that's writing the story. Everyone else, just plays a role that you assign them. Okay, and we have to get used to understanding this. I know this felt a little bit weird to me because I'm just like, oh my gosh, am I controlling other people, manipulating other people? The thing is, you can never know who exists and who does. Okay, like this. Okay, this might trip a lot of people up, but the thing is, like, and do with this information what you will. I'm not saying you have to, like, resonate with this, and I do think people are real people. I'm not saying don't see them as, like, humans, but the thing is, you're only ever operating from your reality. You can never truly know what's going on in someone's mind, even if you're trying to think from their perspective. That's still your perspective at the end of the day. So it's not wrong to manifest a specific person or specific outcomes or whatever, because the truth is, you don't know what's going on in their reality. Who knows, maybe in their reality you don't even exist, or something else doesn't even exist, or like it's like, yeah, it gets a little bit trippy, but it's like, there's this whole thing. I don't know how, like, true this is, but I don't know how much I resonate with this or believe in this, but I remember, like, one of Bashar's videos, he said that there's like 300,000 like people total, but like in the world there's like 8 billion people, right? But it's like, everyone is just kind of like a culmination of those like OG 300K people. I'm not gonna get into that. That's a little bit like confusing, but my point is, like, like, it's not wrong to want things to go your way. Okay, and you're not manipulating anyone else. You're not manipulating anyone's energy. Okay, you're not like, you're not doing anything wrong because they're all in your reality. Okay, you are the only thinker in your reality. So again, who knows what's going on in their reality? Maybe in their reality, like, other things are happening. But honestly, you don't need to think from anyone else's reality. A lot of people ask me like, oh, what if multiple people are manifesting the same thing? You always win in your reality. Who cares if someone else is manifesting the same thing? Even if someone came to you and said like, hey, I'm manifesting, this person, and like we're now in competition, like you should just laugh at their face and be like, yeah, there is no competition. I always win in my reality. I'm the prize. I'm on the pedestal. They'll be happy with someone else, right? So that's how confident you should be. Okay, your person is lucky to be with you. Your person is lucky you even gave them the time of day. Because think of it, like, you meet so many people in your life, and you're making this one person special, but they're only special because of your attention towards them. Okay, because again, you're the only thinker in your reality. And it's like, they wouldn't even be special if you didn't exist. They wouldn't even exist if you didn't technically exist, right? So something that I highly recommend doing is telling yourself, I'm the operant power of my reality. Whatever I say goes. You need to get comfortable with wielding power. Okay, holding power, using your power. Okay, being powerful in general. Get very comfortable with that. Okay, I like saying I'm the operant power of my reality. Life only goes the way that I want it to go, because you don't need to experience sadness. You don't need to experience pain, trauma, all that. I feel like if you're here, you've probably already experienced that. You don't need to, keep experiencing that again and again. Keep going through the same lessons, karmic cycles, patterns again and again. Okay, but it all starts with understanding how powerful we truly are and how powerful our minds truly are. That's why meditation, emotional regulation, this all helps with that. Okay, but you can even say I'm comfortable with holding this much power, because I know a lot of people are not, because we grew up being conditioned to think otherwise, and that in itself is a manifestation. Why did we grow up conditioned to think that way? Not everyone did that though. Not I know a lot of people that are extremely confident that their parents would actually make them do affirmations. They don't actually have that much childhood trauma or anything really that negative in their life. Like, they had a good childhood, this or that, and I see them thriving. I see them living it up. Okay, but that's not to say if you did go through that, then you can't thrive either. You always have the power to change your story, but you need to get comfortable with holding that power in the first place. Okay, um, yeah. Okay, the other card that I want to talk about here is everything I need is within me. Okay, again, it's you versus you. It's about you becoming the version of yourself that feels good, having your manifestations, that feels safe being loved by your SP, that feels safe having that job, having that much money, having all these opportunities, having the exact job and opportunity that you want. It's you. It's all about you. Everything you need is within you. You're not like manipulating anyone else. You don't need to react to the 3D. You don't need to like talk to anyone, convince them to do anything. Okay, it's all about you. That's why, like, I know I'm probably going to reference this in my videos a lot, but this is a fact that just blew my mind. But when you say I am affirmations, I am loved, I'm powerful, I'm amazing, I'm the only option, I'm the best option, I'm always chosen, I'm always prioritized, I'm always pursued, I'm always romantically obsessed over in a healthy manner. Okay, you're sending out electromagnetic pulses, you're sending out an electric signal into the quantum field, which dictates how people perceive you. Okay, so yeah, you just have to continue to see yourself in that way, right? Like, I am amazing, I am awesome. And again, even if you don't feel it, it's okay. But people will start getting those thought transmission is instant. People will start viewing you and perceiving you in that way. Okay, but just tell yourself, like, I'm amazing, I'm awesome, I'm happy, I live a good life, just for you to feel good within too. And again, it's not about like how other people perceive you, or you're doing this to make other people perceive you in a certain way, but so you feel good about yourself. When you tell yourself something enough times, you will start feeling it. I mean, that is how negative things also start, right? Even negative conditioning started in a certain way. Like, people started telling you certain things, you internalized it, or you started saying certain things, you internalized it. The same thing can happen for positive thoughts as well. If you can spiral downwards, you can spiral upwards. So yeah, anyways, I will end the video right here. Again, I do offer one-on-one manifestation coaching. I also offer in-depth tarot readings, and I intend that everyone watching this video gets their manifestations to full fruition. Thank you so much. Love and light.